Hey guys, I want to show you something. It's important. I've been running for a long time. What? Look at this. Hogwarts Legacy will release on February 10th, 2023 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and on PC. The Switch launch date will be at a later time. Oh, okay, well, that's it. Greetings and hello. My name is Magic Maestro, and I'm excited to be talking once again about the upcoming video game Hogwarts Legacy, a single-player RPG that puts players in the role of a Hogwarts student. On Friday, August 12th, Community Manager Chandler Wood at Avalanche Software released a video from their Salt Lake City office confirming the launch date of February 10th, 2023. He tried to sympathize with players that were disappointed that the game was no longer slated for a 2022 holiday release. According to Wood, the developers need more time to deliver the best possible experience to everyone. The news left some in the community feeling like an acromantula caught in the gaze of a basilisk. Instantly, opinions began flooding Twitter, Discord, and Reddit about the announcement. A heated debate began about whether this was good news or a confirmation of the development hell rumors from sources behind the scenes that the game was in trouble. Despite official updates in January and March claiming the game would launch in 2022, the game has been delayed until 2023. Even before the backlash began, the announcement proved to be a misstep for Avalanche, as they forgot to mention that the game would be released on Xbox Series S. With news so closely guarded and anticipated, one would think the copy would have been heavily scrutinized before releasing to the public. The official Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account spent a lot of time on Friday reassuring Series S owners that they would still be able to play the game. Switch owners might be more forgiving of a later launch date, being that AAA titles are difficult to port to the device due to hardware limitations, and are sometimes delayed. Looking at responses on Twitter, we can see some of the initial backlash about the news. Luke Humphrey says, "Weeks and weeks of speculation, and they've delayed it again. They apparently need 2 years and 2 months to polish a game? Never been so disappointed with a development company in all my life. What terrible news." Clearly, for some fans, the news of the delay hit hard. With the recent state of play and behind-the-scenes videos, it seemed like the game was in a much better state than it is. Many games have been delayed due to the recent pandemic, and working remotely has slowed development time. Jonathan B. says, "It's shitty to take people's money in pre-orders just to delay release until next year. This won't be the last delay, too." I looked into some of the retailers such as Amazon and found that you can indeed pre-order the game. Also notable is that next-gen consoles will charge an extra $10 for these versions. One thing that may comfort consumers is that Amazon, at least, will not charge you until a few days before the game is actually released, so it's not as though the developers are raking in your money while they endlessly delay the game. There's still something to be said, though, for not offering to sell vaporware. There's a lot of ill will around game companies overpromising. Would the team have been better off with a simple "coming soon"? Then people would be upset that they didn't have a release window at all. The idea is that the developers want to create hype and buzz for a project, but delays tend to sink momentum. The problem isn't a 2023 release date. It's a problem with consumer and game company relations. Some people buy Tesla cars and wait years to get one and don't have a problem with it. There's an expectation that you're getting something so premium and valuable that allowing Tesla to hold on to your money and gain interest on it doesn't cause the same amount of outrage. But in the video game space, delays convey mismanagement and poor execution. At some point, if a game takes too long to release, it's so outdated that the project has to start over because graphics have advanced and players' tastes have changed. The game being developed is no longer fresh or relevant in the game space. Large studio game development is an incredibly demanding job. And just like in the movie industry, there's constant financial pressure to release a product as quickly as possible to turn a profit. Some people have floated the idea that Warner Bros. Doesn't want to launch the game near God of War Ragnarok, the sequel to the action-adventure game developed by Sony Santa Monica Studio, releasing November 9th. While Ragnarok certainly stands to be a popular game, I don't see the studio delaying the release of Hogwarts Legacy for 3 whole months just to avoid a single game. Additionally, Ragnarok is a PlayStation exclusive, while Hogwarts Legacy is a multi-platform release. To purposefully miss the 2022 holiday gift-giving season means that the developers definitely don't feel that the game is in a place to ship, even with a day one patch at this time. If there was a game that developers would want to push the game for, it would be Gotham Knights, another open-world action RPG style game, also from Warner Bros. While the game covers different universes, marketing for Gotham Knights will be ramping up going into fall, and Warner Bros. Would have to divide airtime, billboards, social media, streamer endorsements, product placement, etc. There's always another side to the story, so let's look at some positive reactions to the announcement. Team Martin says, "Honestly, just so excited to have a release date. Take all the time needed. Can tell this whole project is a labor of love for the team. Can't wait to experience it." Heart emoji. The developers came out of expressing their love for the world of Harry Potter in their official behind-the-scenes video. You would expect any professional to take their job seriously and do the best job possible, regardless if it was a passion project or not. Of all the Warner Bros. Studios, why was Avalanche given the job? In a great article by Dean Takahashi on GamesBeat, it's made clear what the relationship between Warner Bros. And Avalanche Software is. A quick Wikipedia search shows that Avalanche Software was key to developing Disney Infinity, a game where toys are used to unlock characters in the virtual game. As Disney started to realize that more money could be made by licensing properties to game companies rather than investing money into making their own games, they abandoned Infinity and Avalanche Software. It was in early 2017 that Warner Bros. Swooped in and salvaged the studio and brought Avalanche into its fold. David Haddad, then Executive Vice President of Warner Bros., now President of Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, said, "Much of the founding leadership is still in place. They know how to work with great IP. This is taking a studio with 20 years of leadership and management, creating games for a market. It's quite different from starting a studio from scratch." After developing Cars 3, a Disney movie tie-in game, John Blackburn, studio general manager at Warner Bros. Games, said, "Avalanche will work on titles that it has a unique passion for, and that doesn't include only family games. We're working on Cars 3 now, but that's not the only kind of game to expect." Clearly, they had big plans for the new studio and felt that they had a great team to work with. That should be somewhat comforting to those who are worried about all of the delays. This is definitely not an inexperienced crew making their first title. This is a large, ambitious project. There were a few people who were generally just super excited to hear about the release date itself. It's Tom Gardner said, "Finally, a release date! Anyone who complains clearly doesn't understand the work and efforts that go into this. Take all the time you need. I'm so excited for February!" Indeed, February is still early in 2023, and as long as the game doesn't continue to get pushed back, most fans should still be fine with the delay. Torben, a Gay Plays, said, "Why are people so upset about a delay? I'd much rather wait. Have a great game compared to what Cyberpunk was/still is, and so many other rushed games. People who want it now will be the first to complain if anything goes wrong or it's buggy." It's important to talk about Cyberpunk's impact on the current video game landscape. While everyone was sheltered at home during the pandemic, there wasn't much to look forward to. Video game sales skyrocketed across many genres of games. Cyberpunk 2077 serves as a cautionary tale. A game first announced in 2012 wouldn't be released until the end of 2020. The game suffered from feature bloat and from overpromising what it could deliver on. CD Projekt Red released so many apology announcements that the yellow background became a meme. In an article by Video Game Chronicle, according to Business Insider Poland, now the company value of CD Projekt Red has dropped over 75% value in less than 2 years since the launch of the game. CD Projekt Red's name is tarnished forever and is now known as a company that overworks employees, lies about the stability of their games, and fails to deliver to consumers and investors. No company, Not even Warner Brothers can afford that kind of hit to their bottom line and to their reputation. It would be better to shelve the game entirely. I'm that guy Steven says, y'all get an official release date instead of a window release date and you're still mad? What's a few more months? The game is clearly almost done, even if it gets delayed till next holiday. If it sucks, it won't be because they rushed it. It looks good though. Well, we've seen trailers of the game. We haven't seen any hands-on gameplay yet. What will the game feel like? Will it be as immersive as the developers say? Unfortunately, there's no amount of concept art or cinematic trailers that will tell you if the game will be fun to actually play. The fact that the developers have given us an official release date does seem like it will actually launch on that day, but only time will tell. Over in the dark forest of Reddit, feelings were split as well over the announcement. Some people claim to have seen the writing on the wall about the delay. Those that were silenced before are now getting their revenge. But there are also calls for civility among the fan base. Shuli08 says, but even in the last few months, there is no reason to think anyone on the Hogwarts Legacy development team is not working hard to both meet and manage expectations. It seriously looks way more ambitious than I think anyone thought it would be even as recently as early 2022. Harassing developers or posting toxic comments on social media that only highlight how unrealistic some of our expectations have become. I recognize the audience for this game makes quite the Venn diagram of fandoms. It's true, there are all kinds of fans of the game. Some are fans of the movies, others are exclusive book fans, and some have grown up playing the Harry Potter Lego games. This particular project will pull from all of those groups, each with their own set of expectations. I don't envy the Avalanche team. I withheld from releasing a video because up till now there really hasn't been anything to add. I think it was just a bad idea to announce a launch date without any new footage. There was nothing to soften the blow. There was no team sitting behind computers crunching away at bugs with the Cruciatus curse. Just a release date. All we had to go on was a Twitter post by the community manager, reassuring the community that there was more information still to come this year. And then came the news everyone was hoping for. More content. Gamescom is one of the world's largest gaming events held in Germany. On August 23rd, Opening Night Live will be hosted by Jeff Keighley, and we will be getting a new look at the game. The game will be showcased along with about 30 other games during the 2-hour segment. Speculation buzzes about how long the spot will be and what information we might see. My hope is that they will reveal Quidditch, however unlikely that might be. You can bet to see a breakdown after the event for my take on what was shown. I hope you found this video insightful, and thanks for joining me on this look at the latest news surrounding Hogwarts Legacy. If you subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. And if you're already a subscriber, please like the video so that YouTube shares it with others. Thank you again, and have a magical day.